question I've come to ponder to myself is, why do they all look the same? Who's they? The they thems. All look the same. And why are they mostly women? I mean, there's a few Delulu men out there too who are like, I'm a they them. No, you just don't have enough testosterone coming out of your balls to make you a man. You know what I mean? But they all look the same regardless.
Why are you priding yourself on the fact that you do not care about other people? It's very cringy. It's serving middle school bully is what that is.
Look at me! Am I a guy? Nope, just a dyke. But this is your message. If you look like a guy, they're gonna call you a guy. If you look like a chick, they're gonna call you a chick, regardless of what you identify as. Okay? And stop taking it so personally.
My pronouns are she, they, if you wanted to share yours.
They them!
Use they, them. Perfect.
Called it! It's definitely not predictable or anything.
So what you're telling me is that this person looks like they them? You're saying that you're able to recognize that this person probably uses they them pronouns, but you're still making a joke out of it. But it really, like, this person's always going to be out here complaining. This is the kid in middle school who's like bullying everybody and has no friends. I just got to say it. I got to say it. So whatever. Next. Like, do I understand this idea of neopronouns and feeling dysphoric with they them? Do I get it? Do I understand it? Do I identify with it? No, not at all. Do I need to understand something and identify with it in order to respect it? No. And I think that's a sign of maturity that this person often, or if not always, lacks, right? She's a hateful rhymes with witch. Hello babies and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, hi, my name is David and I participate in an incredible amount of internet content both here on YouTube and on Instagram and TikTok. If you're interested in that, go find me over there, babes. Now, welcome to my series called Dismantling Hate, and you have landed yourself on episode 9. Thanks so much for being here. Here on Dismantling Hate, we look at some hateful internet content, and you know, besties, there's no shortage of it. And we're here to laugh, we're here to be a little bit educational, and we're here to learn as well. And I want you to be able to have practice dealing with hateful ideologies out in the world. So you're here with your favorite them-ma, like grandma, but they, them, you get it. And we're gonna look at some hateful things together here. And you know what, besties, before we get started here, we may not have Michelle Obama's arms, but we do have her attitude, because when they go low, we go high. And I do not want you to go and leave some hateful comments on these people's profiles, even though they may deserve it. This is here for entertainment purposes. And today we're going to get into something a little bit different. So I'm going to move myself over here. So we're going to get started here. I just paid $70 for a mediocre haircut and beard trim. So I'm ready to be kind. No, I'm going to try really hard and not swear at all. I don't think I've sworn yet. Kylie, have I swore? No, I'm good. Okay, so today we are going to look at the political mixture. And in the first 8 episodes, we've really looked at 2 different kind of entities. We've looked at Candace Owens, and we've also looked at gays against groomers. Now, there is so much more content left with those 2, but I need a little bit of a break. We need a break. So we're going to look today at the political mixture. So I don't even really know. I've only seen a handful of these videos. I started here with this, the pronouns are she. I've seen the first half of this video. You know, we're gonna start from the top and we're gonna work our way down. Yeah, I can already tell this is gonna be good. So we have 413 posts. They're a video creator. They have their own merch, AKA Jimmy Neutron, which is that's interesting. I do love Jimmy Neutron, and I was Carl. Screw your ideology. Starting off strong, and then really good at getting banned, and then member for gays against groomers. Yeah, you're not surprising anyone. Isaiah 42:3, flame emoji, water emoji, and then we have posts are my own, and then it looks like there's a movie with links here. There's a GoFundMe here for medical bills. There's General Flynn tickets. I don't know what any of this means, but I think before we get into the videos, we got to look at the Bible verse. Does anybody know Isaiah 43:2? What Bible verse is this individual appropriating in order to spew some hateful content? Let's see. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers, they shall not overwhelm you. When you walk through fire, you shall not be burned, and the flame shall not consume you. Great. Yeah, it reminds me of like any other Bible message you would find out in the wild. Like, I guess the burned and the flame. Sure, I get it. I don't see how this relates to being homophobic, but I'm sure we'll figure that out in due time, my dear child. Okay, General Flynn tickets. Let's see what's going on here. General Flynn, own it now on digital. You can rent it. You can buy it at Walmart. Deliver the truth, whatever the cost. The live tour. Oh, who is this guy? The tour highlights. Should we click on one? I feel like we should click on one. Greer, Savannah, and Venice. I have a feeling that's not Venice in Italy. I have a feeling that's something very different. Winter Haven, Florida. Oh yeah, patriotic, the hands on the chest, you know. That's yeah, let's start here. Let's start here already. You just already, yeah, Patriot TV with that stupid music playing. Okay, well, you know what? You just fall down the rabbit hole with these idiots. That's not swearing, but it was not very kind. But I have a feeling that my empathy in order to provide kindness is going to be zapped away here pretty quickly. Okay, let's see. Just another impossible watch. No love, pursue him. There's like 20 people there. There was more people in line at Sephora this morning. How is this a highlight? This is just a man anyway. I mean, the whole world is just a man, unfortunately. Yes. Oh, yes. Honestly, the men shaking hands like that is kind of gay, honestly. Not the children, no. The girl in the middle looked happy, but those other kids looked sad. So might as well turn this down because there's no text. I'm sorry, nobody cares about you signing a hat. He's left-handed. I have no opinions about left-handedness. It's like, this isn't highlights, this is all B-roll. This is a church, isn't it? That looks exactly like a church. I'm going through Utah in the summer. I have plans to go through Utah, and I'm really excited to go to some mega churches and maybe participate. Yeah, still not just music. And I'm really excited to see how some of that works. And hopefully, my soul doesn't erupt into eternal hell flames when I pass through the what's it called? The threshold. There it is. All right. Yes, thank you so much for being homophobic. Thank you so much for hating everybody who isn't straight, cis, and white. I'm making a lot of assumptions here because it's only music, but what else is this? Patriot.tv? This is just... I can't... Alright, yeah, another straight white man in cargo shorts. End my life. Some hateful clapping. A hateful standing ovation. Again, I'm making so many assumptions here. Okay, you know what? I think I'm going to cut it here. I don't know if we can... It's just the Flynn movie. I don't understand what this is. Okay, let's see Home. Let's see Home. Who are these people? What's the point? What are we doing here? But I think it's pretty safe to say that it's probably pretty hateful if it's purported by this whoever the hell we've been looking at. Yeah, it's just... They want you to... Okay, can we see like about? Okay, about. Oh, it's not clickable. Oh, it is clickable. I just have slow Wi-Fi. Okay, let's see the about. I think it's going to be just some like alt-right Christian fundamentalist nonsense. Like, that's not new. Oh, look at that cover. Oh, and there's a signature. With more than 33 years of service in the United States military and current chairman of Alberta's future, Alberta, that's where I'm from, of America's future, General Michael Flynn's military career culminated as the Director of Defense and... Why is there so much enunciation? Director of Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA. I don't know why that sounds fake. It very well may not be. It may be very important and prestigious. And as the nation's highest serving military intelligence officer. Okay, great. After retiring in 2014 and as a private citizen, General Flynn went on to serve in a variety of businesses, educational, and nonprofit roles to include supporting veterans organizations around the country as he continues to do today. Okay. Don't have any problems with that. His public service included selection and service as a foreign policy advisor to several Republican U.S. presidential candidates in 2016 and subsequent appointment and service to the National Security Advisor to the 45th President of the United States of America. 45th, that was Trump. General Flynn is a national best-selling author, holds 3 master's degrees, and is the recipient of numerous military intelligence and law enforcement awards. He is married with 2 sons and has several grandchildren. Okay, General Flynn. General Michael Flynn, let's get the WikiHow page on you and see what the HE double hockey sticks is up, because I'm not swearing. So it looks like the Defense Intelligence Agency looked real. There was something there. Okay, so he did all this stuff. Michael Thomas Flynn is a retired U.S. Army Lieutenant General who was the 24th U.S. National Security Advisor for the first 22 days of the Trump administration. For the first 22 days. That's nothing. That's just over 3 weeks. He resigned in light of reports that he had lied regarding conversations with the Russian ambassador to the United States. His military career included a key role in shaping U.S. counter-terrorism strategy and dismantling insurgent networks in the Afghanistan and Iraq wars. And he was given numerous combat arms, conventional and special operational senior intelligence assignments. I don't know what any of this means. And how does it, I mean, if he was the advisor for Trump in the 2016 presidential campaign, we know there's problems. We know there's problems. But it's almost like a pyramid scheme, right? Like, I want you to join my pyramid scheme, but I don't want you to know that it's Arbonne. Like, he's hiding the details. We're hiding the details of what I'm interested in. Oh, the QAnon conspiracy theory. He pledged an oath to the pro-Trump QAnon conspiracy theory, and as Trump sought to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election in which he was defeated, Flynn suggested that the president should suspend the Constitution, silence the press, and hold a new election under military authority. All right, so, okay, I think we have a pretty good understanding of Michael Flynn, which means that we have an even better understanding of, what's her name? Mickey. M-I-K-I. I can't, Mickey. Okay. Okay, and then there's one other link here, GoFundMe. What's the GoFundMe for? We just want a nice, well-rounded thing about who this person is. Okay, support for Silas through his medical recovery. Okay, so it doesn't look like Mickey is the organizer of this. It looks like a different person. Oh, so it looks like this young man was hit by a Jeep while he was driving his motorcycle on his way from work to get a haircut. He's okay. His medical bills are going to be $100,000, which, you know what, in the US, I fully believe that. It could easily have been more. They're working on getting a settlement, and they're looking to cover those financial costs. Yeah, it looks like March 22nd, he was out of the hospital, and they were able to send him home, currently resting and mentally preparing for the lengthy journey for regaining his development, for regaining his mobility and independence. And it looks like he's been supported quite well with 6,836 USD raised throughout 44 donations. So, okay, I have no problem with this, but it's interesting that this person has this link in there. I wonder what the connection is, but we probably won't figure out, and it doesn't friggin' matter because I'm not swearing. Okay, here's the meat and taters here now. We're getting into the brass tacks. We're going to stop talking about it. We're just going to do it now. We're going to have a look here at the videos. Now, here's where it gets good, but in the worst way. You know what I mean now when I say things get good. It means it's about to get homophobic up in here. All right, we're going to start with a pinned post and work our way down. Here we go.
I was just misgendered in my local FedEx. Yep. The woman behind the counter asked her coworker, "Did you help that guy yet?" And after further observation, she goes, "Or lady." See, immediately, my thoughts were, cancel this woman. Ruin her entire life. Because she called me what I look like. Just kidding. That's what y'all would do. I, on the other hand, am aware that I look like a guy. Look at me! Am I a guy? Nope, just a dyke. But this is your message. If you look like a guy, they're going to call you a guy. If you look like a chick, they're going to call you a chick, regardless of what you identify as, okay? And stop taking it so personally. In fact, you'd be a little happier if you could laugh sometimes. Laugh at it. Haha, it's funny. It's funny, okay? It's funny. Just saying. Okay, bye.
All right. Well, there's our first impossible watch by whoever this is. Now, okay, I have a few key comments here. This isn't a new thing. I was gonna say she does look like a lesbian, which isn't my place to make that comment. But again, why it's not really our responsibility or within our place as human beings to be looking at other people and assessing their gender in order to say their pronouns. So like on a fundamental level, like at a really basic level here, like I get it. It makes sense to me. If you look like a man, that somebody might call you a man or somebody might call you like he, him. But the people like this are just out here like advertising how little empathy they have for people. Like, sure, maybe this woman doesn't care about looking masculine and being called a man versus like he, him. But for some people, that bothers some people. And I'm sure that there are things that bother this woman that wouldn't bother other people, just by like a statistical, mathematical, just statistically that would have to be true, right? So why are you so mad, girl? Why are you so mad? Like, you're projecting this like big amount of anger. And it's not that you need to cancel somebody for misgendering you, but if you're misgendering somebody on purpose, I think that's the difference here. Like, the person at FedEx isn't out here maliciously calling you a man, even though you look like one. But if you like leaned in and was like, oh no, like my pronouns are she, her, like it could have been a really simple thing. And I understand that some people get upset about it. Like, we've seen those videos of that one creator that gets quite upset with people in public when they use the incorrect pronouns, and maybe not quite upset, but they talk their way through it. It's a different and it's a unique kind of interaction. And I can understand where this person is coming from, but they seem pretty upset right from the get, which is really interesting. Us OG gay. So, okay, now we're going to look at like a handful of comments here and move on. Us OG gays don't care. Never did. New generation is. I'll stop. Okay, but like, you being the original gays doesn't mean that you were better. It means that you were just... I don't think this is necessarily transphobic. I think this is just being a crappy person who lacks empathy. Like, why wouldn't you want to be able to just use the words that somebody wants when you're referring to them? Why wouldn't you just want to do that for people? Why would you want to make people uncomfortable with your language when you have the power to do the opposite? Like, I'd be surprised if this person has any meaningful friendships. Yes, I love you for doing this. Womp womp, you female. Remember to pray, guys. I like this dude. Had me in the first half, not gonna lie. The amount of people I call bro or dude without caring about their gender. It says carrying, but we can't trust the spelling skills of these people. This is my favorite person. She literally only speaks facts. Okay, this is kind of boring. It's over. Oh, I saw one that says I'm non-binary. You are me. I'm non-binary, but I don't care if someone who doesn't know me misgenders me. I don't even care if one of my friends accidentally calls me girl, boy. I don't care. It's fine. It's not a big deal. At the end of the world, it's not a big deal. The LGBTQ community should grow up. I agree for the first half. Like, I'm the same. I'm non-binary. It does kind of like ping my ears wrong when people he, him, me, or sir me out in the wild. But honestly, you can't expect people, at least in our current state, to recognize that I use they, them pronouns if I'm not like wearing a pin or something like that. But even then, in that case, like, you don't know, right? And some people wouldn't even know what that means. But what I'm arguing here is that there should be a world in which our language is just inclusive for everybody, right? There is a new world order that's building, and it's people like this that need to be left in the dust. And it just always surprises me that queer people can be like this. Like, just stop being hateful. Is there a point to it? Is there a point to it? You're building a platform around like tearing other people down, and eventually people are going to stop caring about you. In fact, I already have, but I'm making this video, so we're going to continue. All right, let's see what we got going on here.
Rumor has it Target's new Pride, I'm better than gayer than you collection, whatever, has just dropped. So we're going to go take a look at it, and I'm a little scared, but you know, it's fine. Let's go. Okay. It's a little busy today, but we're going to do it anyways. We're doing it anyways. I somehow got lucky finding a parking spot right on the side. I'm a little nervous to see what this entails, but let's do it. I walked in and there was a group of gays like fawning over the gay stuff, and I just had to wait. This was the first thing. Yeah, okay, weird. Oh, by the way, your pet is gay. If you thought your cat was straight, you are wrong. Jesus. Anyways, next. Oh, and if no one told you, your dog is also gay.
I knew that.
Into the actual merch. Let's just forget about this flag. Throw it in the trash. What is going on? What is happening right now?
David Rose.
Oh my gosh. I would make fun of you for wearing this, not because you're gay, but because it's so ugly.
I would agree.
Anyways,
that did look ugly.
It was at this point that I saw the children's collection. I'm so glad we're accepting infants for who they really are in 2023. You think you're done, and then there's more. There's always more. And honestly, I'm curious as to what this candle would even smell like. And don't forget, if you forget what day it is, there's a lot of gay calendars as well.
Oh, I love that.
To finish it off, the children's swimsuits, and I'm leaving. Bye.
Okay, well, again, just another, I don't want to say this every time, but another impossible watch with that fake Louis Vuitton wallet. Okay, for the important, wait a minute. Was that a rainbow seat cover I saw? Anyway, not important. The first comment here says you are built like the target ball, and I don't want to perpetuate hate, but that's funny. That's funny. And you know, when people leave me hateful comments that are funnier than they are mean, I can admit when something is like that too. Anyway, okay. So, chosen family is love. Like, how is that hurtful to you? The pride, like pet toys, I understand. Like, it's the commodification. At the end of the day, Target wants to make money, girl. And if you're somebody who wants a trans mouse for your cat, like, who cares? Live, laugh, lesbian. That's hilarious. She wants to throw out the pride flag. Like, it amazes me how people like this can forget the work that has been done by the generations of queer people that have come before them in order for her to enjoy the rights that she is enjoying now, right? Like, yeah, sure, some of it is ugly, like that one patchwork. I would wear that in drag probably, but not out of drag. I like, again, what are you getting? Like, you draw the gender euphoria candle, that's weird, but like, who's the one out here selling candles that smell like vaginas? It's not the weirdest scented candle I've ever seen. And like, who cares if there's kids pride stuff? Like, honestly, who gives a rip? It's all the commodification of pride, which I think is a problem of corporations just trying to make money, and it does in fact work. But who cares? Who cares? Why is this so upsetting to you? Again, like, this person has no personality beyond just like shitting on. Nope, I'm not swearing. This person doesn't appear to have a personality beyond being like a self-hating queer individual. Let's read a few comments. I agree that pride collections by big corporations are usually ugly, overdone, and overall silly. A lot of it is ugly, a lot of it is overdone. But well, you know what? I was going to say it's not silly, but I was looking at the trans mouse for your cat. It is kind of silly. But the dog toys are just rainbow butterflies. I think they're pretty cute personally. No one is saying that their dog is gay. And the kids' stuff, in my opinion, is actually cute. And they just have nice messages on them. Like, I believe in you and I am proud of you. I just don't really understand the issue. Again, I'm not one usually to purchase from the pride section because it's mostly just cheap crap that is rainbow. But if there happens to be something cute, what's the problem? I 100% agree. I don't think it could be said any better. And then people are saying, kids don't be able to have a choice and this and that. Like, oh, what about religion? What about, who is that? Isaiah 42:69? 43:2. I was close. All right, next.
They sit here and they say, like, you need to get married young, you need to have all these kids, you need to give up your career. Sometimes it comes across of drop everything to have a family, children. To have children.
Especially now, like, if this were 60 plus years ago, yeah, women would have had more of the ability to, you know, not have a job, just raise the kids. Post World War II, women going into the workforce, like, it was necessary, and since then, like, the country has not been the same.
They sit here and they say, like, you need to get married young, you need to have all these
kids.
kids.
Wait, what?
Sometimes it comes across of
post World War II, they had to go into the workforce. No, it was in the beginning of World War II that they had to go into the workforce because the men were drafted. It's just things like this. Like, I'm not necessarily fully educated in these things either, but like, I do have a pretty fundamental understanding of things, definitely through like the educational perspective, because that's where I'm coming from. But it's just like, who, you're just recording this podcast in your car about how women I don't understand the message. I don't understand the message.
Children.
Especially now, like, if this were 60 years ago, 60 plus.
I think the idea here is that women shouldn't be, like, sexism isn't real. And like, I think people like this are arguing that women shouldn't be out in the workforce. And somehow we have the hashtag pro-choice. I have a feeling that this person would be against terminating a pregnancy. And it just, I don't get it. Make it make sense. Ugh.
What's up? My name's Mickey, aka the Political Mixster. This is Paige.
I'm Paige. I am one of those scary transgenders. I'm friends with Mickey.
What's your
We're going to
political?
a concert.
Okay, that's your political affiliation.
Center left.
Who did you vote for in the last election?
Joe Biden.
Okay. We were at Olive Garden, and Paige.
Very, very good.
I ate one breadstick. Paige said something about Trump's military ban, and this kind of sparked the conversation.
We had an actual mature conversation about it. She didn't call me a libtard. I didn't call her.
I almost did.
I didn't call her a bigot or a fascist.
She almost did.
Yeah, almost did. I didn't know that it wasn't actually a ban.
It wasn't. Yeah.
And I was misinformed.
You'll answer, and then I'll answer. Why do you think that your political candidate supports the LGBT community?
I don't think he does. What I think is, I think this is another choice of the lesser of two evils. Biden, with LGBT rights and everything, it's either going to stay the same or slightly get better. With Trump, I see it getting worse.
So when you say get better, what needs to improve? specifically?
say
Because,
it's-
me personally, I think that, we got all the rights we need. We're good.
I think it's around the trans people stuff. Me personally, I don't think you should transition kids. None of that.
Base.
This is why we get along.
Period.
But I don't think kids should medically transition. I don't think it needs to be a big topic in society or anything. But here in Tennessee, I can't legally change my ID. And I have been discriminated because of that. And that, it was legal to change your ID in Tennessee, gender-wise, via a letter from a surgeon or doctor, until the beginning of 2022. I'm a trans woman. So that's my main concern. Can we turn on the car because it's a little bit loud?
Yeah.
Your car's so clean, too.
Thanks.
It's because of the trans kid issue. Too many people are hijacking, your organization believes, in gay rights and everything, trans rights, just not the...
Don't target kids.
Yeah, don't target kids. I'm fine with that.
She's-
A lot of people have co-opted that movement of, the anti-trans kid stuff. They'll use it as an excuse to call trans people or even gay people predators.
Oh,
I know.
100%. Did you know that Donald Trump played a role to show...
And Home Alone, too.
No, not to. And a bill that was passed that gave 200,000 low-income, uninsured, or underinsured people access to HIV/AIDS medication.
I did not know that, no.
Fun fact: first president first president ever.
A gay person.
Openly gay cabinet member. Wait, I got one that's gonna blow your mind.
Okay.
First president ever to launch a worldwide campaign to decriminalize homosexuality.
Oh, wow. All right, guys, he's not as bad as I thought. I still don't like him, but with respect and love, I love all my friends regardless of politics.
How long is this?
And people
Good
need to stop
God.
being so divisive.
I would take mean tweets in an effective economy over whatever the hell is going on right now. Okay, to end this video, if you have anything you want to throw out.
Have a great Saturday, or whatever day you're seeing this.
I think we should start a podcast.
I would be down for that.
This was really fun.
That was
And,
actually really fun.
That was great.
Let's do it.
All right. So first of all, the messages on the side here is oh, look at these adults with opposing ideas having a mature, educational, and respectful conversation. Was it educational? No, it was not, because she's trying to convince this person that Trump was a good president and that he launched the first ever worldwide campaign to decriminalize homosexuality. I'm gonna need to see some receipts if you're gonna put some outlandish stuff like that onto the internet. I get it. You should be able to sit down with people who have an opposing viewpoint from you. They don't necessarily have opposing viewpoints, however. They're actually quite close to thinking the same thing, because they don't think that kids should be medically transitioning. And I guess, what does that mean? Because I think the option for children to medically transition should be there under the structure of a psychologist, of a medical professional, of a parent, and of a surgeon, if that is something that this child is seeking to have done. It's just, honestly, it shouldn't make a difference to you. It's not anybody's choice but that child, and if they're underage, it would also have the influence of a parent, a medical doctor, a surgeon, and a psychologist. And all of these people together in tandem should be able to decide whether medically transitioning is the right option for anybody on a case-by-case basis, not just children, but adults alike. And that's typically how it is done in most progressive liberal states. So I think it's actually, they're creating a bit of a false dichotomy here, because they're not actually that far from each other with their viewpoints. They're pretty close. But in any video where you're talking about how you think Donald Trump was a good president and a good person, my empathy is guided by my discernment, and I lost it all when you're talking about how good Trump is. So next up, please don't make a podcast. Good God.
Today I'm going to show you how to use pearls pronouns in sentences. Hello there and welcome to Burger Machine. My name is Alex and my pronouns are pearls.
Oh, would you look at the time? It turns out I'm actually vegan. I gotta go.
Okay, that actually wasn't that hateful. I've seen this creator before, and they talk about neopronouns. I don't really have an understanding of what neopronouns means. I feel like, to be completely honest, I don't understand neopronouns. I do understand how in language you would use them. I don't think many people use pronouns like this, but this creator has a lot of different videos like this, quite similar to this one, talking about different neopronouns that you can use. I don't think it's necessarily harmful. I do think it's a little bit extraneous, maybe not extraneous. I do think it's a little bit extra, might be the word. But honestly, what does it matter to me? Does it matter to me at all? Like, why we're already navigating the world asking people's names. Is it really that much more to ask their pronouns? And if they want to be referred to as pearls, I mean, like, are you an idiot? Are you not able to incorporate language into how you speak to somebody? Like, it wouldn't be that hard to respect this person. Oh my God, one of the captions is I am Sandy/Cheeks, which is really hilarious because I love SpongeBob. And that's, yeah, another comment says, I hope her account is satire. It might be. I don't get it. I don't get why this is that upsetting to these people. Is it extra? Yes. Would I go through that extra millisecond of mental work in order to make somebody feel comfortable? Absolutely, but I'm a nice person, so I don't think this person understands that.
Who did you vote for in the last election?
Joe Biden.
Okay. We were at Olive Garden and Paige.
Very, very good.
Okay, so it seems like we're recycling content because we've seen that already. Oh, okay. Oh, I remember this guy. Okay, deliver the truth no matter the cost. Where's your blazer? Yeah, you do look like a lesbian, and it doesn't matter, but... All right.
My pronouns are she, they, if you wanted to share yours.
They them.
Use they, them. Perfect.
Called it. It's definitely not predictable or anything.
But it's really interesting though, because in the beginning of this video, we looked at that video that she posted that said, people call me a man because I look like a man. So what you're telling me is that this person looks like they, them? She kind of shot herself in the foot there, hey? Because if somebody with blue hair, like the blue hair they them joke, like I get it. And when I go and get a coffee, like I don't want that coffee unless my barista has a they them pronoun pin with blue hair. Like I get it. The joke is funny. I'm a they them myself. I don't have blue hair. I never have. I've had purple hair. But like you're saying that you're able to recognize that this person probably uses they them pronouns, but you're still making a joke out of it. But it really, like, this person's always going to be out here complaining. This is the kid in middle school who's like bullying everybody and has no friends. I just got to say it. I got to say it. So whatever. Next. Is this...
He said something about Trump's military ban, and this kind of sparked the conversation.
It's the same thing. Stop recycling. Okay, so this video right here, it's obviously copyrighted because it's Karma by JoJo Siwa, and she's like awkwardly grinding and sticking her tongue out, and it's very sexualized, which...
Please. You can be into chicks, but that doesn't mean you need to grind on every single one that you see. This is unacceptable. This is too much.
Is it too much? Yes, I would agree. But is it unacceptable? No, because I think it's like, why isn't she making videos about cis straight men making over sexualized videos like this? It happens all the time. Or it's like straight women grinding on a man, right? Like it's all it's all the same, but we're only targeting this because they're part of the queer community, I think. And yeah, like, is it cringy? Yes. But JoJo is also growing up in the public eye, and she's making these choices, and she's doing what she's doing, and she has the full right to do whatever the hell she wants, even if it's cringy to you. So, God, boring.
I'm a lesbian, but I don't understand why we're making such a big deal out of it. It just means I'm into chicks. So you're transphobic. You hate trans women. Cause I bet you wouldn't date one. No, I wouldn't. No, it doesn't mean I hate them. I just not my preference. You know, I'm a lesbian. Yeah, and trans women are women, so you'd still be a lesbian. You'd still be a lesbian. Why are you so aggressive? Like, bring it down like 5 volume levels. I'm not attracted to men. I just said I'm a lesbian. Oh my goodness! At what point did I say men? I said trans women. Ugh, I don't know how many times I can say this until it gets through to your stupid little pea-sized brain. They're women. I'm a lesbian.
Okay, well, first red flag here. Anybody who refers to women as chicks, I think, is a red flag, to be honest with you. Sure, you can have a preference, but like trans women are women, trans men are men, but if you're watching this, you probably know that. So, like, okay, the comment here says, I love how dramatic and aggressive her libtard impersonation is perfect. This is a part of why I'm making these videos, is because I think it is seen, like, I think some queer people defending themselves in ways like this, it can be easy to be triggered. And if your lid is flipped and your evolution brain is out, if your monkey brain is out, you can't make rational decisions when engaging with some transphobic kind of person like this. And that's what we're doing here. This is practice here, because this woman is wrong. This woman is hateful. But if you're out there yelling at her, it does take away the merit of what you have to say, because you'll notice she didn't actually even respond to what her what her counterpart argument was. She was just saying, "Oh, why are you yelling at me?" and didn't actually talk about any of those things. So it's a good reminder here that you need to stay calm and respectful when you can be, so you can actually let the room breathe. So people like this have to respond, and their response usually is nothing.
Right. Fun fact, did you know that motorcycle plus Jeep does not end very well?
This is that GoFundMe.
You didn't know. Now you do. I swear, I'm going somewhere with this. Just give me a second. This is the home dog, Silas. This man, the man, the myth, the legend himself, was on his motorcycle when unfortunately it came in contact with a Jeep. As you can probably guess, the injuries were pretty extensive, including this decimated femur. Okay, so why am I talking about this? Let me tell you. My home dog's got a GoFundMe up for a $20,000 goal, and he's a little over a fourth of the way there to come.
The way she uses language is just exhausting to me. Yeah, sad that happened. I have no opinions on that. Oh, here's that guy.
If you didn't know that, you know it now. Also known as Jimmy Neutron. And I know I got a lot of Trump supporters on here, which is great. Believe what you want to believe, support who you want to support. That's the beauty of America.
That's
But
great.
if you know of Trump, you also probably know of General Michael Flynn. Now, in case you haven't heard yet, this man is going on tour starting on April 5th in Venice, Florida. And yes, he will be going around the entire country because he's coming out with a new movie. Let me show you a clip.
Yikes.
Former National Security Advisor Lieutenant General Michael Flynn pleaded guilty today to lying to the FBI.
Flynn knew exactly how the system worked. He knew exactly what the intel world had been up to. He understood its funding. They had to get rid of Flynn.
Even better news, if you're based out of Nashville like myself, he will be stopping in Nashville on Wednesday, April 10th, and I honestly cannot wait to attend his showing and to see this movie. And obviously, the man, the myth, the legend himself is going to be there, so why else wouldn't you want to show up? Now, if you're interested in learning more about General Flynn...
I'm not, but at some point, everybody can't be the man, the myth, and the legend. Yeah, she's really happy with pro-Trump supporters, which it makes me feel a lot less bad about her transphobic stuff, right? It's like, ooh, man. Yikes.
What up? Welcome to a random day in the life. First off, I'm going to start off by fulfilling my womanly duties and doing dishes. That's literally just a joke. Calm down.
It's not a joke.
Me saving $7, making my own dirty chai, grabbing my food for the day, and heading out.
All right.
I'm glad I got in windshield wipers because it's going to storm later. This is just a little before of my hair because I'm looking raggedy. And I'm really excited for this haircut I'm about to get later. I'm so excited because it also started to sprinkle. But I was wrong.
So bored.
It didn't just sprinkle.
She must be really young. She talks like a 12-year-old.
I thought I was going to be swept away. Anyways, my barber always does a really good job of my hair, and I'm really,
It does look
thankful
good.
for this.
Yeah.
And then I decided to be impulsive and said, you know what?
Oh, I want
screw it.
highlights.
Let's highlight it. Now, I did use a purple shampoo, but it came out way more yellow than I would like. But here's the end result, and I'm going to tone it more, but not too bad. I forgot to film the rest. Instead, I went to bed. But thanks for coming along.
Okay, but it's interesting though because like the other videos probably receive a lot more attention than random ones like this. Fulfilling her womanly duties of doing that, like she said, it was a joke, but not necessarily because she advocated for gender roles with that trans woman in the car podcast in the beginning. It's not so much a joke for her. She believes that women should be home, like post World War II, like she said. Good God.
You guys want to play a really fun game? It's called What the Heck Did I Just Read? And it's actually not fun at all. Let's play. Tennessee venue to host, quote, Trans Day of Vengeance event days after Covenant shooting anniversary. What? You're telling me that someone who was so extremely mentally unstable as to murder innocent beings, who also happened to think that she was a guy, means that you have to seek vengeance? You're playing for the wrong team here. You're seeking a Trans Day of Vengeance instead of mourning the loss of the lives that were taken. I love me a good game of connect the dots, but these dots just aren't connecting. You guys would rather stand by your ideologies, no matter how absurd, than to admit that maybe there's an issue.
It's not really ideologies. It's just, I guess, like the human rights or ideologies like that. That could make sense here. We don't have enough of the information here. So this is either poor content creation by not making the viewer understand what is actually happening with your video and not giving enough context. It looks like this person posted in conjunction with the Gays Against Groomers. Yeah, I don't necessarily get it. And referring to her as not him, I don't know. I don't care enough about this woman to go into this one to prove her wrong. Let's just keep going.
Do you guys want to play a really fun game?
the
It's called What the Heck
same
Did I Just Read? And it's
video.
actually not fun at all. Let's play. Tennessee venue to host, quote, Trans Day of Vengeance event days after Covenant shooting anniversary.
Okay. You know what? Because she posted it twice. Oh, it's on the Daily Wire. Yeah, sure. So is Candace Owens. Okay, Tennessee venue Trans Day of Vengeance. Tennessee venue cancels Trans Day of Vengeance after a Daily Wire article. Okay, so it doesn't look like this is the actual thing. A lawmaker calls scheduled event incredibly insensitive to the memory of the victims of the school shooting. A transgender day of vengeance outside of Nashville scheduled for Easter Sunday, the week of the anniversary of the mass killing of school children by a transgender terrorist, has been canceled following the exposure of the event in the Daily Wire. Okay, it's all coming back to me here. So a trans person perpetuated a violent crime, and then because we're discriminatory, we're painting all trans people with the same brush of assuming that all trans people are perpetuators of violent crime. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's discriminatory, and you can't paint an entire community with a singular brush based off of the actions of one person. It would be like being anti-Black Lives Matter because one Black person perpetuated a violent crime. It's not the reality. I'm sure one Black person somewhere has perpetuated a violent crime. Not all Black people are like that. One trans person, I'm sure, perpetuated a violent crime. That doesn't mean all trans people are like that. And I understand how that could be insensitive to somebody who is mourning the loss still of a child that was lost in this school shooting. I can completely understand that, but it has nothing to do with their transness. The fact that this individual was trans, I am of the belief that would have little to do with the fact of why they engaged in a violent crime like that. It's just that's discrimination. It's straight up discrimination. That's literally the definition. One person does not serve as a monolith for the entire community in the same way that this gay woman who's into chicks doesn't represent the queer community at all. And thank God for that. All right. So we actually did do it. Next.
Have you guys ever heard the theory that the reason that kids are maturing so quickly nowadays is because of like all the hormones and whatnot in the milk? I think we have a bigger issue at hand. I think it's also making them identify as animals. Don't come for me, bro. Just saying, there's been an increase. Maybe it's the fluoride in the water. I don't know which one it is. Regardless, stop drinking both of them. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
That's really funny. None of that is science-based. It's all just infantilized glitter speak. It's one of the comments here says, are you mad at they thems because people judge you for looking like one of them? Is really interesting because this person does look non-binary very much so. Yeah, there was something else here. There's no captions, but of course she wouldn't put that much effort into her content.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Oh, identifying as animals. That was the other piece there. Is this in reference to furries? I don't know. I don't get it. It's not funny. It's not informative. Like, whenever I'm making content and publishing it, I really think like, what am I adding? What value am I providing to the world? And I don't think I'd be able to answer that for her other than just throwing hate out there, just being I've been doing so well with not swearing. But if it's the food, if it's the water in the milk, then why are trans people the problem? So the milk is targeting children now? Make it make sense, Bestisha.
The biggest question I've come to ponder to myself is, why do they all look the same? Who's they? The they thems. All look the same. And why are they mostly women? I mean, there's a few Delulu men out there too who are like, I'm a they them. No, you just don't have enough testosterone coming out of your balls to make you a man. You know what I mean? But they all look the same regardless.
I did say this in my last video. I don't know if I fit that discriminatory idea of what all they thems look like. I definitely don't have blue hair. And you know, when I say that idea of like blue hair, that's a joke. That's a joke, and it's not actually real because there are so many people that identify as they them who do not have blue hair. And it's not a matter of testosterone either. I said in the last episode, I do have like high to average testosterone, and I have the blood test to prove it over the last few years, but it's funny, like the comments are like, but you kind of look like them too. I'm like, oh God, no, bro. My high school art teacher is a they, them, and she sends so many people to the office for calling Miss, which is so dumb since there's not natural saying for Mr. or Mrs. Yeah, it's MX. It's MX. So you can say mix or MX. That's what I go by in school. I wouldn't send a child to the office for accidentally doing it ever. Even if a kid was really, really struggling with using the right pronouns for me, if it wasn't done in a way of malice, and it's very easy to tell, especially with children, they're pretty see-through on the emotional. they're pretty see-through by the emotional expressions on their face. I would never do that for somebody if they were consistently making an honest mistake, truly. But if they were doing it out of malice and on purpose, yeah, get out of my classroom, because that's disrespectful. So I can see it from both sides. All right. They don't all look the same. No, it's, again, it's discrimination. What value are you adding to your content? It's not much. Not much. All right, next.
They refer to me as it's. They, them makes me super dysphoric. It's is cool. Non-noun neopronouns are still my preferred, especially the ones that keep the E sound, like E or Z or V.
I just lost brain cells. Like I felt them die. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not good, because I don't think you have that many rolling around in that big head of yours either. Okay, I get it. Do I understand it? Like, do I understand this idea of neopronouns and feeling dysphoric with they, them? Do I get it? Do I understand it? Do I identify with it? No, not at all. Do I need to understand something and identify with it in order to respect it? No. And I think that's a sign of maturity that this person often, or if not always, lacks, right? And the comments, like, we do not care. Good for you. Like, what does it, like, why are you priding yourself on the fact that you do not care about other people? It's very cringy. It's serving middle school bully is what that is. All of y'all are haters. Why do you care how somebody wants to be referred to? You certainly aren't going to be friends with any trans person, clearly. Minding your own business. There's plenty of better stuff to be complaining about. Absolutely. Abso-friggin-lutely. Yeah. It's not even funny. Like, the response isn't even funny. If there was a comedic joke in there, like, it might be different. I think that for me, like, if you're going to be hateful to me and you're going to leave like a hate comment, if it's actually funny, go for it. Like, if I actually laugh at something, which happens, that's fine. All good with me. But you're just basically using this person for views at this point, which is on brand, sad. There's just no personality behind this person other than just being an asshole. Sorry, I wasn't gonna swear, but I said it.
Makes me you, cause I think you're so good and I'm nothing like you.
Acting is not on your list of career choices, babe.
Why is it about acting? Why is it about acting? I'm so confused. I don't really get it. She's just being hateful. Like, she's not even actually saying anything. It's just literally laughing at this person. And like, having this one moment of the facial expressions by this person, how are you figuring out what, I don't know. I'm so confused. Like, she's so boring. Why is it built like a boiled egg? That's so rude. That's so rude. Ugh.
Welcome to 2024, where men write songs about what it's like to be a woman.
Dylan Mulvaney is not a man. Dylan Mulvaney is a woman. And who cares if she writes a song about being a woman? Like, it doesn't, who cares? Who cares? Even if it was a cis man writing a song about being a woman, like, is that really, I mean, sure, it might be a little bit of an appropriation, but honestly, who cares? Like, Dylan is happy. Dylan is happy and living authentically. And I think that's what is triggering here, is because this person does not strike me as a happy person. There's a lot of hate here. A lot of people will be scared here. And I'll name them. And she's a hateful rhymes with witch.
Hello, I'm here with my brother, and he has a very important message for you. Maybe not. I sound like a woman who's been taking testosterone for 3 months. This is my coming out story.
You mean a man?
I was... Hello, I'm here with my brother, and he has a very important message for you. Maybe not. I sound like a woman who's been taking testosterone for 3 months.
I don't understand what's going on here, so we're gonna skip. Yeah.
Some of you guys are so unbelievably dense that it makes me want to bang my head against a wall. That's it.
Yeah, I feel like with some of your takes, you might already have a habit of banging your head up against the wall. And also, it's interesting, if we go back about, 7, 8, 9 videos here, when she was impersonating a libtard, being so loud and aggressive, like, oh, it looks like that behavior is coming out of you here, babes. Next.
I'm about to read a message I got. Don't be fooled. I was shocked.
I bet you were.
Hi, your post means so much to me. I really respect how adamant you are about saving kids and protecting them, especially with all the backlash you face. I'm a pretty big fan of yours, and it inspired me so much as a young queer to see this kind of honesty coming from elder queers. I think that you sticking with your opinion and being truthful to yourself in the face of all the hate you receive is really empowering and truly what the community needs. With that said, I think you should kill yourself. Just as an objective observer, I'm not saying this to be mean, or as a death threat, or some petty internet stranger. I genuinely think a lot of people would be happier if you killed yourself. Don't take this the wrong way, I'm a huge fan of you. I don't want to be parasocial, but I want what's best for you. This is my opinion, and as one of your ardent supporters, you should kill yourself.
That's really...
Love you, though. I really look forward to the inspiring content you will continue to make, or whatever it says.
Jesus.
Parents, you need to take the phones away from your kids.
I don't know if I agree with that, what she said at the end there, but that would be very jarring to read. And I think that's a horrific thing to write to somebody. I'm going to say that right now. I don't think anybody deserves a death threat right now, or telling them, I don't think anybody deserves messages telling them to go unalive themselves. I think that is horrific. And ultimately, even though I disagree with this person so much, and I think they're hateful, and I think they're just hateful and wasting a lot of their time in their life just being a hateful person, and I don't agree with them, I don't like them, I don't care about them, and whatever, they don't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. And I hate that they were sent this, mostly because now this person, I forget her name, but it doesn't matter. This person now associates this kind of bad behavior with queer people in general, or like with trans people, or whatever community this person hates. They just assume this. I forget what video I talked about this in, but you have a problem and you have something that you don't like, and it's a really big sign of immaturity to say, of course the thing I don't like is the reason for this problem, when really it's not really related. This is just one bad person, not a comment on a whole community. So I don't agree with being hateful like this to anybody. I say it in the beginning of my videos, we may not have Michelle Obama's arms, but we do have her attitude, and don't perpetuate this culture of hate. When they go low, we go high. Do not send this person hate, but you can ask questions and you can challenge them in respectful ways that don't involve telling them to go unalive themselves, which is gross to say to another human being, no matter what they've done.
Today, I watched a 9-year-old outsmart every single liberal in America. We're in the car. He asked who my favorite Mario character is. I just threw it out there. I said Yoshi. And he responds with, yeah, most people think Yoshi's a boy. And I went, isn't Yoshi a boy? Like, he's green. I know, I'm sorry, I'm big. I was like, isn't Yoshi a boy? He's green. And he goes, Yoshi lays eggs. Only girls can reproduce. I looked at this kid and I said, don't you ever forget that. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
So this is misogynistic, I think is the word for it here. But the argument here that this person is talking about, saying only women can reproduce. So it's reducing the womanhood of trans women. What about the cis women who can't reproduce? There are a lot of cis women who cannot reproduce for a multitude of different things. Does that take away from their womanhood? No. No. Womanhood is a social construct. It's not something that's reinforced by having kids or having a uterus or having the ability to reproduce. How is this woman is she not a woman then, because she's only gonna be in queer relationships and not be able to reproduce with that sperm of her partner? Is she gonna use the bone marrow of her wife in order to do that, in order to be a woman? I'm just speaking very hyperbolically now, but like, that's not... the first comment here is many women can't it says girls. Many girls can't reproduce, so are they men? You simple-minded people feel the need to simplify every complex issue down to a simple binary yes or no answers. But that's not how the world works. There are many matters in life that are more complicated than that. Start living in reality, accept that you're not smart. The second one says seahorses. Am I a joke to you? And then the next one, your haircut is misleading. Oh, God. And then Trump flew down from his American Eagle wings and gave him a medal and everyone clapped. Hilarious. Let's see the second part and then we're going to be done.
This is part 2 of today. I watched a 9-year-old outsmart every liberal in America. These sound like lies. They're not. Like, I should have had a GoPro mounted on my forehead to prove that this happened, because I'm just as shocked as you. We pull up to Buc-ee's. This kid gets out the car. I'm pumping gas. He walks to my side. And he goes, do you like Donald Trump? Because I hate Joe Biden. He ruined our country. This kid is not. A 9-year-old gets it. Maybe there's hope. Maybe there's hope.
All right. Again, we have a lot of logistical issues here because a 9-year-old doesn't have the life experience or honestly the prefrontal cortex development enough to actually make a decision, a critical decision on whether the fact the country was destroyed. Like, I'm sorry, a 9-year-old doesn't know what has happened in a country. A 9-year-old doesn't have a conceptual understanding of what needs to be done in order to build up or destroy a country. A 9-year-old is only parroting what they have heard from other adults around them. This person, I'm sorry, is acting like an idiot. Because, like, seriously, though, there are so many logistical issues and logical fallacies, and they don't have a personality. They're using their platform. They're using other people on their platform in order to garner views. It's just the same thing over and over again. There's no value to this content. They're hateful. I don't hate them. I don't wish any harm on them, but I don't think I wish any good for them either. Now, to finish up here, I saw a video by Drew, and we're going to finish with Drew's video here because I've had just about enough of this one. All right, team, so we're going to finish here with a bit of a palate cleanser, and this is a video that I came across on TikTok a few weeks ago, and it's really beautiful. If you don't know this woman, her name is Drew. If you're watching my videos, you probably know exactly who this is, but if you've never seen her before, go follow her on Instagram and TikTok. She's, I think, a little bit more active on TikTok and does a lot of the same kind of stuff that I'm interested in doing in dismantling hate and dismantling bias. And I think our butch friend here that we've been talking about in this video would benefit from some of the ideas happening here. And it's interesting because people like Drew, who I align myself with, at least by what I've seen in this video, she has 7.9 million followers on TikTok compared to 190,000 that our butch friend there has on Instagram. So I think the masses really correlate here with what we think. So yeah, this is just going to be a nice palate cleanser. I'm not going to pause a lot because I don't really have anything to say in addition to what Drew talks about. I love Drew, and this is gonna build us up and make us feel good before we end off here. So let's go.
I want to talk to y'all about something that's not particularly funny, but I do think it's really important that we have a discourse about it, all right? And just to get started, this is not about men, for one. But I need those of you who still watch to lock in with me, bitch, okay? Put those listening ears on, really try to hear what it is I'm trying to say to you. I've been seeing a lot of the discourse about Dylan Mulvaney's new song, right? And first off, I'm going to say this. If you just don't fuck with the song, like you just really don't like it, just artistically, whatever you want to call it, that's fine, all right? No one's going to throw you in fucking jail for not liking the song. Who gives a shit if you don't like it? What I want to talk about is the videos I've been seeing, particularly from women who are calling the song misogynistic. Now, I'm sure we can all agree, based off my fucking track record, bitch, my repertoire, if you will, that I am an expert when it comes to misogyny on this app specifically. I'm the fucking gatekeeper of hell, bitch. You all know that, okay? And seeing so many cis women call that song misogynistic is really fucking upsetting to me for many reasons. Let's start with the easiest one. Misogyny is so much more than just one trans woman's experience with girlhood. Did you hear what I fucking said? Misogyny literally kills people, okay? And with the amount of transphobia and anti-trans legislation that's going on in this country right fucking now, it really fucking upsets me that some of you want to water down someone just trying to have fun and make a fucking song about their own personal experience and align it with something that has literally been killing people for hundreds of thousands of years and continues to today. And trans women experience that sort of femicide far more than any cis woman does, and it's important you fucking know that. The next point I want to make. Saying that Dylan's experience specifically is misogynistic makes no fucking sense because, one, it's specific to her. If you're gonna comment on the song and say, that's not what all girlhood looks like, you're right. For you. That's not what girlhood looks like for you, and that's okay. And this is where my next point comes in, which is intersectionality. These kinds of conversations is where intersectionality really tends to beat the shit out of some of you that claim to be feminists, because your whole talking point is that we're not one monolith, we shouldn't all be linked together. You're right. That includes amongst cis women specifically, because we don't all experience the same girlhood. So my idea of womanhood versus the idea of womanhood against a thin, cis, straight, white woman are two different things. We have two very different experiences. That doesn't make one more valid than the other. And that sure as fuck doesn't make it misogynistic for me to say that I don't have the same experience as cis, straight, thin, white women. Because I fucking don't. Intersectionality is a vital part of activism that includes feminism. So if you're someone who listened to that song and immediately thought it was misogynistic, I highly encourage you to ask yourself these two questions. First off, is your feminism intersectional? Second off, are you a fucking TERF? Because that's what it's starting to smell like, and it's really pissing me the fuck off. TERFs are trans-exclusionary radical feminists. They don't think that trans women should be included in any sort of feminist move, and that's fucking dog shit. You cannot claim to be for all women if you do not include our trans sisters, and I'm being so fucking dead serious about that. This might be a really hard pill for some of you fucking TERFs to swallow. You don't get fast-tracked to equal rights with cis men because you cut out trans women. That's just not how it fucking works. We're all still waiting.
That sentence. No, we're going back for that. Oh, I felt that one.
Fucking TERFs to swallow. You don't get fast-tracked to equal rights with cis men because you cut out trans women. That's just
You don't get fast-tracked to equal rights with cis men because you are cutting out trans women. My God, say it with your chest, girl, and louder for the people in the back. God, I love Drew so much.
what fucking worked. We're all still waiting in line, bitch, regardless. Some of us are even further back in the line than you because intersectionality fucking matters. Remember that the next time you want to hurl these fucking accusations so frivolously. Anyways, that's it. Love you. Bye.
God, I love Drew so much. Okay, I don't have anything to say in addition to that. I agree with everything that Drew just said. She's great. Go follow her on all the socials. Now, besties, that brings us to the end here of episode 9 of Dismantling Hate here on YouTube with me, your host, David. If you're interested, follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I have a podcast here on YouTube. It's all linked. Become a certified amateur sleuth and go find me, bestie. Ding. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you in episode 10. And until next time, goodbye.